Hello, everyone, and welcome to Old Man's Journey. I was provided a copy of this game by Broken Rules, and I'm just so thrilled to be talking about this today. This game is a mobile game that came out in 2017 and was ported over to the Switch. It can be played both with a controller or with the touchscreen on the Switch. Old Man's Journey is told through a visual narrative. The main character is given a letter at the beginning of the game, which sets off this old man's journey. The story is told through the use of flashbacks as the old man visits places that he once knew in a younger life. This story is about life and the choices we make, the sacrifices we make, and the consequences that come along with those sacrifices. I don't want to talk too much about the story and give away too much because this game is more or less a one playthrough kind of game. So if you hear too much of the story, there will be largely no point in playing it yourself. But it is incredibly moving and relaxing and just gorgeous to look at. The story makes you question the choices that you've made in life and whether you've made things that'll ultimately fulfill you in the way that you wish to be fulfilled by the end of your life. The music in this game was created by SCM-TFC, which is the stage name for Andrew Rawman, who also created the soundtrack for Oxenfree and also did some music for Mr. Robot. The music that has been composed for this game fits perfectly. It is whimsical and beautiful and relaxing. Every city that we see in the game, the music just suits it so perfectly. I think the music is a huge part of why I really enjoyed the game because it's just nice to sit and listen to. Even if I were to watch a playthrough of this game, I would be very happy just listening to the music. It is just stunning. The visuals in this game are second to none. Every image is hand drawn. I think the coolest part about the visuals is that it looks like a picture, but you can move the pictures. So the game is largely a puzzle visual novel, but the puzzles are not very challenging. You're mainly playing this story. It's like an interactive movie almost. The color palette for this game is just gorgeous. I'm not sure how to express this in a way. I'm sure you can see from the video just how beautiful all of the colors are. Both the bright and happy parts of the story and also the dark and depressing parts of the story. It's all done so beautifully. All of the images for the flashbacks are so emotional. You can really feel what the still images are trying to convey. And I think that is a huge part of why this game, in my opinion, is so worth your time. I think my favorite scene visually was probably one of the initial scenes at the hotel. I love the way that the shot was framed and the colors that were used, all the oranges and bright colors. It's just stunningly beautiful. There are so many shots in this game that are just gorgeous to look at. You are looking at moving art. It is just stunning. I do think that because this is a mobile game, it does suit better using the touchscreen of the Switch, but you can definitely get away with using the controllers. I had to use them to record this, and I didn't really have any trouble. But I do think it is probably better suited to just using the touchscreen. It's not a very challenging game, but if you go into this knowing that you are essentially playing a movie, I think you'll really enjoy the game. The gameplay is only around an hour and a half to 2 hours, so it is a very short game, as I think most of these sort of visual novel type games are. There are only a few things that are a little bit of a challenge to do, but they're not like actually challenging in a way that would be irritating. One of my favorite parts of the whole story experience was when you get to control a train and the train on the train tracks, moving the land to make the train tracks connect. It's so satisfying being able to move the landscape and not letting the train slow or stop and just keep going. It was so lovely to watch. I very clearly messed up a few times, and unfortunately this train had to stop very abruptly. But overall, it was very satisfying to watch it just fall into place. The whole game is incredibly satisfying the way that you can make the character move. As far as the price goes for the game, on the Switch, it is $9.99 in the US, and it is $14.99 in Australia, which I do think is a little bit on the pricier side for the amount of time that you spend in the game and the lack of replayability. But I think if you put it in the perspective of maybe purchasing a movie ticket, which is around that price, at least in Australia, I think you're getting more out of this story than you might in a movie. It is actually available on Steam as well, and it is significantly cheaper than it is on the Switch. So I guess it depends where you would prefer to play it, whether you would like to play it on mobile or on your Switch or on your PC. It is actually available across most platforms. You can play it on the PlayStation 4, the Nintendo Switch, the Xbox One, PC, and iOS. So you have a lot of options if you are interested in this game. Overall, I really enjoyed my experience with the game. I think it is just beautiful. I think the story is lovely and moving and painful. And if you're interested in watching the story just as a story, I do have a full playthrough that is going up at the same time as this review so that you can watch it and watch my experience with the game. There is no talking from me because I wanted the game to speak for itself, and I think it does. I really hope that you enjoy that if you choose to watch that, and I hope that if you pick up this game, you really enjoy it as much as I did. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and I'll see you guys later.